Hi, aloha everyone. First of all, thank you so much for your support. This is going to be our little review for our Shaping the Sound or Shaping Your Sound workshop. Now, before we get started, please take the time to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free and this helps us out immensely, so please feel free to do that. And we're going to start talking about a little bit about that left hand hold, just again to really push this new kind of way of holding it. Now, what we want to end up doing is really focus on keeping that left wrist as straight as possible. And you're going to let that notch right there of your ukulele land on your index finger, so you still have a space between the palm where your thumb and index join and the neck here. You're going to let the thumb naturally just drop to the side, keeping that wrist nice and straight. And then between the side of your index and your thumb, you can manipulate these four fingers, and you can see my forearm muscles moving as well. We can manipulate these guys into any way we want. Now again, the big exercise with the chords was going from a C chord to a G to A minor to F to G7 to E7. Bring your index down, everything else off, A7. Surround him, index comes off, D7, 2-0-2-0, and then slide back up to G. And again, you want to be able to play through these chords with very, very minimal movement on that left hand. So for example, C, G, A minor, F, G7, E7, A7, D7, G. Now, we talked about the spider exercise, which was starting with all four on the G string, again from Aldrin Guerrero. 1, 2, 3, 4, taking 3 and 4 off, bringing them down one string, followed by 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2. Make sure they come down and off in pairs, and then make your way back up. Second grouping was 1 and 4, 2 and 3, etc. all the way down and work your way back up. Then the last one, the hardest one, was 2 and 4, 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 1 and 3, 2 and 4, etc. Then we talked about the caterpillar exercise, which was that glass ceiling. Okay, so again, part of this exercise was keeping these fingers as close to the string as possible, working your way up one fret at a time. So again, just hitting 1, 2, 3, 4. Index is going to slide up, and you're going to do another 4. But the challenge is keeping everything below that glass ceiling. The other stretch, caterpillar number 2, was starting on 8, 9, 10, 11. And this is the electrical fence between every fret, if you remember. Pinky hopping over. The hard one was that ring finger hopping over and above those fences. And again, once you get used to that stretch, start where the frets are nice and big, 3, and even all the way down here, where you have to really focus on those big stretches. Let's see, before we get into the meat and potatoes, I'm double checking the screenshot. Okay, so, hammer-ons and pull-offs. Again, if we're working on the C scale, where we had the open C string, and we wanted to hammer that second fret. So I'll do right hand once on the C, and hammer that second fret with my left hand. Open, 2. Oops. See again, accuracy over strength. So make sure you smack that poisonous spider before he eats your eyeball. Then the next string, open, 1, 3. Open, hammer 1, hammer 3. And again, if you need to focus on just one at a time, or that's fine too, just to get used to those muscles. And again, it helps if you're resting on the side there, because this is where that leverage comes from. And then A string, hammer the 2, and then hammer the 3. On the way down, we're going to prep the fingers that we need, so 3 and 2 on the A string, thumb, pull off the ring, then pull off the middle. Again, thumb, pull, pull. Then E string, thumb, pull, pull. And this one, you can lift almost straight up and still get a decent sound. And then C string, 2, and then open. So on the way up, coming back down. Okay, and then the last progression was starting with the hammer on the top, pull, pull, hammer, pull, pull, hammer, pull. So everything with just that left hand. Now, starting to now utilize these things and dynamics as well into our song. And our song again, using Fool's Rush In or I Can't Help Falling in Love. I forget the exact title of this, but it's going to be F, C, D minor, D minor for the first line, and then B flat, F, C, C for the second line. Third line, B flat, C, D minor, B flat, and fourth line, F, C7, F, F. Now, let me set this up so I can use this for review. Now, what we want to pay attention to is how to get rid of just our typical strum. So a couple different strum patterns that we talked about was that first of all, that kind of train pattern, that down, down, rest up, down, down. So if I'm using this progression and I use that strum pattern, you're going to end up hearing something like, for the first line, down, down, rest up, down, up, C, C, rest up, down, up, D minor. Alright, so it's not too bad. Now the emphasis, you can either focus on the first down or you can focus on the second down. Each will have its own little kind of personality. For example, if I focus on the second down, it'll be down, down, rest up, down, up, down. Which I kind of enjoy. If I focus on the first down, you know, down, down, rest up, down, down, down. Yeah, so you can fool around with even just that tiny change, you know, whether there's emphasis on the first down or the second down, but it'll give a little bit of a different kind of vibe. Now, first of all, going through the progression, you know, F, C, D minor, B flat, F, C. Now this is where we started to change up at least the voicing a little bit, and this is where we kind of talked about going from the B flat or the B flat 6, which is just the B flat without the G string. So you're actually hitting the open G, and we're going to slide it up 2 frets. For the C, and for the D minor, we're going to play a D minor 7, which is just that bar 5. And now for the B flat, we're just going to add what looks like an F shape, and this is a new B flat. So let's try that again. B flat 6, so B flat with the open G. Down, down, rest, slide up, 5th fret. Add what looks like an F shape. Good, and then it drops down to the actual F, C7, back to F. Now, a couple things there that we can start applying now, and we talked about muting and scratching. Again, muting and scratching is pretty much being able to control how long these notes ring. So if I'm holding an F chord and I do it down, I can mute it by touching across all 4 strings. So I can let it long or go short, but this is that control that the left hand does. And then we talked about how we can do different strumming patterns while the mute is down and you get this nice kind of percussive scratch, right? So let's see. So I think we did let's see. Oh, before we get into that, I think it was a thumb scratch. Oh, I can't remember now. I think it was. Could replace the down and up down with thumb. Okay, we'll try this out. What we're gonna do, if we're gonna take that same train progression, that down, down, rest up, and we're gonna replace it with thumb, down, rest up, down. So again, it's gonna be thumb, down, rest up, down. So the first down is now a thumb, and that's gonna be hitting the C string, down, rest up, down. And then we're gonna give it some break and give it a little rest there. So thumb, down, rest up, down, C, down, rest up, down, D minor, rest up, down, thumb, down, B flat, F, C. So again, what's great about this is taking that original progression, that down, down, rest up, and starting to kind of take away a little bit from it. So it's gonna be thumb, down, rest up, down, 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 thumb, down, rest up, down. Now, let's now use the muting and scratching a little bit. So this one, we're gonna do thumb, and then we're gonna do the mute, and we're gonna do a fan or just a strum, but I want them to nice kind of scratch. So it's thumb, scratch is the first part, and then you're gonna let go of the mute, and you're gonna pluck A, and then you're gonna pluck E. Okay, so it's gonna be thumb, scratch, up on the A, up on the E. Make sure you mute in between A, E, A, E. So it's going to be thumb, scratch, A, E, rest, 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 thumb, scratch, A, E, thumb, scratch, A, E, rest, thumb, scratch, A, E. Okay, so now all of a sudden it completely becomes much more intimate. You have this feel now where everything is getting kind of pulled in. One wise men say only fools rush in. And again, it's so simple in the sense where all it is thumb, add the mute with the scratch, up on the A string, up on the E string. And that's that whole pattern. And it's so simple yet so effective. And even if you make a mistake and you allow certain notes to ring or not, because you're in time, because you're keeping that constant, you'll be fine. So don't worry about it too much about that. Now, a couple little tricks now using the hammer-on going up. So we talked about for the B flat, let's see. Let's try this. Thumb, down, up, down, thumb, up. Yeah, sorry. Thumb, down, up, down, 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 thumb, down, up, down. Now, that was originally the easy variation that we did off of that train one, but now from here, I want to do a hammer on that C string for the B flat 6. So I'm starting this guy on the open C. This is what I'm going to manipulate. So I'm going to hit the open C first with my thumb, hammer, down. Thumb, hammer, down, up, rest, up, down. Thumb, hammer, down, up, rest, up, down. Thumb, hammer, down, up, rest, up, down. Thumb, hammer, down, up, down. And then for the C, it's going to be, instead of a thumb hammer, it's going to be a thumb slide, down, up, rest, up, down. So again, from the B flat, with the open C, thumb, hammer, down, up, rest, up, down. Thumb, slide, down, up, rest, up, down. Again, thumb, hammer, down, up, rest, up, down. Thumb, slide, down, up, rest, up, down. Thumb, hammer, down, up, rest, up, down. Thumb, slide, down, up, rest, up, down. Thumb, hammer, down, up, rest, up, down. Thumb, slide, down, up, rest, up, down. Good, not bad. Again, very tangible, but it takes time. But again, if you can do down, thumb, hammer, down, up, rest, up, down, and thumb, slide, down, up, rest, up, down, to the D minor. Now, we talked about a fill using hammer-ons for that D minor in the very beginning. So, wise men say. So what we did there was we took our typical inside, outside, rest, E, C, and again, 2 fingers in the inside strings, thumb and then index, holding the D minor for now. Thumb, index on the inside, and then on the outside, thumb, index, rest, back to the E, C string. Inside, outside, rest, E, C. And what we did there, we added a hammer-on. So we started the index finger on the E string is what we're going to manipulate on the D minor here. And so it's going to be off at first. I'm going to do the 2 inside strings, C, E, hammer the 1, C, E, and then the 2 outside strings, back to E, C. So we're skipping the rest there. Instead of inside, outside, rest, E, C, it's inside, hammer, outside, E, C. So still falls in the same kind of space there, but it's just a little different. But timing wise, it's gonna be all the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, now, so let's do F, C, D minor, down, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. With the hammer, the slide, D minor 7, B flat, F, C, or F, there we go. One more time in speed. Alright, so there's a lot you can mix and match already with some of the hammer-ons, some of the pull-offs, using your dynamics, using some of the muting. And again, you can even, again, being able to mix and match kind of thing, especially with the scratching, like say, only fools rush in, but I can't have So some of the things I did there, I did all strings open and then the hammer on. So like or, and I'm adding some mutes in between. So again, these mutes, this control of the sound is so important. Being able to manipulate, how you want to express all of these different things. Now, one thing I wanted to mention at the end there, that last C7, it looks like a B7, which is a bar 2, and then middle finger on the C string, 3rd fret, but slide everything up, and this is going to be your C7. Now, one thing that we talked about at the very end, that last C7, F, C7, F. So one thing we could do to make it fancier is F, C7, F. And that all I did there was, again, the bar 3, middle finger on the 4th fret of the C string, ring finger on the 5th fret of the A string. Now I'm going to do a fan, and then I'm going to pull off my ring finger to the bar, and then I'm going to add my thumb on the G string. So it's going to be a fan, pull, thumb, and then I'm going to pluck the E string, hammer the 5th fret on the E string back to the thumb, and then open A and land on F. So it's going to be fan, pull, thumb, E, hammer, thumb, A. Fan, pull, thumb, E, hammer, thumb, A, F. So the last line, so that's why you see a lot of us kind of touch the strings a lot between a lot of the different strums that we do, just to kind of help really shape and cut off that noise so it's not just too much. So again, there's so much that you can already now kind of muck around with, and I'd love to see you apply some of these different patterns into your other songs that you can play already. And again, a big thing to practice with the muting and scratching is utilizing it 1, 4, 6. Let's hold an F chord, and if we do 8 counts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we're gonna let the 1, 4, and 6 ring. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But that's where we're gonna get that cool syncopation without having to muck around with that right hand. Because again, this is just steady. We talked about how you can scratch on the way down and let it ring on the way up. Has a completely different vibe, or you can do down ups. The fools rush down, up, down, in. So again, so many different ways to apply these different techniques. So please let me know if you have any other questions, but I hope this has a lot of substantial work that you can do for a while, and I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you again. Hope to see you soon. Aloha.